In 1789, the French king sat in a palace surrounded by gold. Vaults filled with treasure. Walls covered in silk. None of it saved him. Because outside those gilded walls, people weren't starving for gold. They were starving for bread. And within 4 years, that king would lose his head. Not because he lacked wealth, but because his people lacked flour. Today, bread costs pocket change. We throw away the crusts without thinking. But for most of history, bread was the difference between life and death. The average person spent 70% of their income on food, and most of that food was bread. A working family might eat 2 pounds per person per day. It wasn't a side dish, it was the entire meal. One bad harvest could wipe out entire villages. The Great Famine of 1315 killed millions across Europe. Not from war, not from plague, from rain. Too much rain destroyed the crops. And without bread, people simply ceased to exist. Gold couldn't stop that. You can't eat gold. Every ruler understood this truth. Control the bread, control the people. Rome distributed free grain to 200,000 citizens, not from generosity, from fear. The emperors knew a hungry mob was more dangerous than any army. And when bread failed, empires fell. The French Revolution started when bread prices hit their highest point in a century. A single loaf cost more than a day's wages. When the women of Paris marched on Versailles, they weren't demanding democracy. They were screaming for bread. The Russian Revolution? Same pattern. The bread lines of 1917 stretched for blocks. The protests that overthrew the Tsar began as bread riots. Gold can buy loyalty in times of plenty, but when people are hungry, nothing else matters. So how did bread become ordinary? The agricultural revolution, mechanical farming, nitrogen fertilizer, global trade networks that could ship grain across oceans. For the first time in history, most people could assume they'd have enough to eat tomorrow. And when that happened, bread lost its power. Not because it mattered less, but because it became abundant. But we haven't escaped the equation. We've just forgotten. Remember the empty shelves of 2020? The panic when flour disappeared? That fear wasn't new. It was ancient. A reminder that beneath all our technology, we're still the same creatures who will fight over bread when the supply runs short. The next time you walk past a loaf of bread, remember what you're really looking at. The substance that toppled kings. The treasure gold could never match. Gold glitters, but bread keeps us alive. And that's a kind of power no amount of gold can ever buy.